Good afternoon. We're back for our next departmental budget discussion. No council members have joined us this afternoon, but I am joined by Emily Piscini, the Mayor's Office Chief of Staff, and Talia Lomax O'Neill, the city's Finance Director. Before we get into this year's budget, I'd just like to circle back to last year and say that it was an unusual budget. We weren't able to do exactly what we had hoped to in that budget cycle, but because every department, including this department, found a way to tighten their belt a little bit this last fiscal year, and because we've had some revenue growth as a city, we are in a position to do a 3% cost of living adjustment this year for all our employees, along with the open range increases and the steps that many of our employees earn on an annual basis. So yes, everybody will get a pay raise this year, which I think is a good sign of our appreciation for their hard work in the last year. Our next budget discussion this year is with the Nashville Public Library, and its director, Kent Oliver, is here. If you could introduce the colleagues who came with you, and we'll like for you to leave a little bit of time at the end for us to ask some questions.
Again, I'm Kent Oliver, the Library Director for the Nashville Public Library. I'm joined by Susan Dry, who's the Assistant Director for Administrative Services. And I'm also pleased to have 4 of our board members with us today in the front row. Keith Simmons, our board president, Katie Varney, Robert Orman, and Joyce Searcy is sitting behind me channeling Margaret Ann. So I do have a brief statement, and I know that you do want to ask questions, and this is not a 30-minute statement, but more like a 5 or 6 minute informational. NPL operates 21 locations, and we have about 386 staff. And this fiscal year, we expect to approach 7 million items checked out and see approximately 3.4 million visitors in our facilities. And there will be about 314,000 people who will attend 12,000 or more unique programs that the library provides annually. Library services such as Limitless Libraries, Bringing Books to Life, Studio NPL, the Nashville After Zone Alliance, or NASA as we call it, Digital Inclusion, the Summer Reading Challenge, Adult Literacy Services, Core Children's Services, and our citywide partnership in the Grade Level Reading Initiative, Blueprint for Early Childhood Success, are critical to Nashville's workforce development, education, and literacy efforts. As all of you know, 2 out of 3 third graders are not reading on grade level. We see evidence each day that this problem is critical or as critical as transit, housing, and health care. Public libraries are one of the solutions to this challenge. In addition to being one of the founders of the Blueprint for Early Childhood Success, we are also excited to be partnering with the Nashville Adult Literacy Council and co-leading the Adult Literacy Backbone. To complement NPL's internationally recognized civil rights room space and programming, NPL is looking forward to the opening of the Votes for Women room in February 2020. And this will coincide with the Public Library Association's National Conference, which will be in Nashville at that time. Through superhuman private fundraising efforts, a few Nashville women, Margaret Bem, Jeannie Nelson, and Julie Mosley, in collaboration with the Nashville Public Library Foundation, have assisted in this fundraising, and NPL is poised to open another essential educational space. This time we will be exploring the 19th Amendment and suffrage. We do want to make sure and acknowledge that we are appreciative of the support provided by Metro Council and the Mayor's Office over the last few years. And this support includes returning some Friday branch hours, NASA improvements, shifting selected library positions funded by the Libraries Foundation to Metro payroll, capital funds for new branches, branch renovations and planning, and the Jumpstart funding by this administration for the Votes for Women room. The library does face serious budget challenges now and in the future. Lack of and reduced resources impact our ability to provide quality service to the community. We continue to seek assistance in several areas, and I would like to highlight a few of the budget enhancements which we submitted, but not all. Due to increased service costs, which were not covered in the current year's budget allocation, NASA was unable to fund about 350 slot requests last year, which would potentially serve around 500 youth. The request this year will help fund 100 youth slots, around 28% of what was unfunded and lost last year. This includes 2 additional buses, and the total request is $175,000. For several years now, we have sought to have all of our branches open on Friday. The branches that we are seeking to open on Friday that are not currently open include East, Edge Hill, Hadley Park, Luby, North, Old Hickory, Pruitt, and Watkins Park. And the budget request in this area is $712,460. We are also seeking to have staff positions supporting basic library and building infrastructure return to pre-recession levels. In addition, we continue to request shifting some foundation-supported staff positions to the Metro side of our budget. The library's foundation funding reductions, 20% over the last 2 budget cycles, impacts such programs as Bringing Books to Life, digital inclusion, civil rights, and a civil society programs, and our audiovisual conservation program, to name only a few. A new position to advance the adult literacy initiative is requested at $52,000. Last, and most importantly, books and materials are core to the library's mission. NPL currently purchases up to 7 formats for popular, high-demand adult material. These include playaways, audio CDs, hardcover print, large print, trade paperback, ebook, and e-audiobook. In this current budget year, we will receive $2 million, $1.6 million, or 44% less for books and materials than the $3.6 million we received last fiscal year. The impact is a domino effect on our purchasing power and collection building as a library. Last budget year, we purchased 110,000 items. This year, we anticipate purchasing approximately 100,000 items. However, due to this 4% reduction, NPL is set up to purchase approximately 63,000 in the coming year. We are also in the process of identifying contracts for selected online services we will be terminating due to the reduction. While we certainly respect the challenges the mayor mentioned in his opening remarks, this current funding has put us in a very difficult situation. This year's 4% process is a dramatic reminder that it is nearly impossible for the Nashville Public Library to strategically develop collections under this system. Funding for books and materials should be in the operating budget at a minimum of $4 million. When all is said and done, we are obviously committed to Nashville and providing Nashville great library service. NPL has a wonderfully dedicated staff that cares deeply about the quality of services we provide. We remain deliberate and thoughtful with all our open staff positions. We repurpose and shift our positions as necessary. We attempt to build a skilled staff that reflects the diversity of the community we serve. We are creative and resourceful as we deal with our daily challenges. And at the bottom line, we are all in this together, and NPL is most able to address its mission and community challenges when the resources at hand keep pace with the growth of Nashville. Our city expects and believes that a city with a great library is a great city, and that is why we are a city of readers. Thank you.
Thank you. Alia?
Can we talk a little bit about the foundation positions?
You want to talk about those a little bit more in detail? We have Go ahead.
It wasn't, I don't think in detail.
Okay.
Because my question was one of just general philosophy
Oh, okay.
around when you decide to initiate a program that the foundation funds. I think, is there a general expectation that Metro would just automatically pick that up?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Many of the programs where we've been trying to move staff over have been in existence for 10 years or more. And the philosophy typically when we look at these programs, or at least I think at that time, was that these would be pilot programs, that there would be a combination of foundation support for and Metro support at some time. And I guess a great example of this, my favorite example, is Studio NPL. Studio NPL, our makerspace, was developed through a grant that came through the foundation, and it had foundation seed money as we developed the drawings and created the plan for it. And at the point we were ready to implement it, the foundation purchased almost all of the equipment and materials that went into that space, and Metro agreed to go ahead and begin providing some of the staffing. So that was a very deliberate approach to that particular program. When we are funding these programs in the foundation side, we look at the percentage of funding that comes from Metro and comes from the foundation. And frankly, almost all the programs in the literacy area are foundation funded. NASA would be an exception. Certainly limitless libraries would be an exception. But that's kind of our approach to it. I never have, at least while I've been here, had the expectation that for sure that Metro would begin assuming parts of that.
I just wanted to hear from your big picture perspective.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else, Tony?
My list could just go on and on.
I know.
I really am interested too in terms of, because you and I've had conversations before about New Americans and some of your programming and some of the branches and some of the specific things that you guys are doing to welcome people that might not necessarily always feel comfortable entering a public space. And I've really been impressed with what you guys have been rolling out.
Right.
And I think that might be worth just spending a couple seconds on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and New Americans actually, falls within our adult literacy area, and I'm going to mention one of our staff. Megan Godby is really a spearhead for that. But what we're doing with New Americans is that we provide information in all of our locations now about citizenship. We have a very physical display about that, but we also have programs around that. We have a New Americans Advisory Committee. We are working very deliberately on digital initiatives within the New Americans area. We've really folded that all together as we look at adult literacy, but we're very focused on that community in Nashville.
So this will be an interesting question for you. What does equity look like in that space?
In adult literacy or the New Americans?
Either one. What does equity look like to you
Everybody's
in terms of
welcome.
providing services?
Everybody's welcome. I was just visiting with somebody today about access, and when I think of a public library is just that, a public library. And philosophically, you don't differentiate between anybody who comes in and asks for service. And that's the way I approach it, and I believe that's the way our staff approach it as well. Our board hears programs about the different things we're doing. When we talk about homelessness and the homeless in our building, those folks have as much a right to our services as anybody else. And so we welcome the homeless as long as we are able to help them and they are working productively in our space.
Okay. I'm going to give somebody else a chance to jump in.
I noticed we're moving some of the NASA money over to Opportunity Now. Do you want to talk a little bit about why we're doing that?
Yes, when under Maradine, we had a couple of grants. They were direct access grants to OASIS, and one was for the Mayor's Youth Council, and the other was the College Connection. Opportunity Now has really taken over those responsibilities, so it makes more sense to align the funding with the department that's actually providing the services. And as far as the summer zone, that money has been budgeted in NASA, but it's really for high school students. NASA is changing their focus and only doing middle schoolers now. So Opportunity Now is also taking over that summer zone. So in order to help them provide those services, the portion of our budget that was focusing on high schools is going to Opportunity Now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anything else?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
You're going to let me
I
go?
don't really have any questions on the statement, so there's no reason for me to.
I want to, if I could get an update on what you're doing with the community partnership grants, which is also literacy focused, is that
Right.
correct? And you have a process right now that's going on?
The process is
and
in
the
place.
application process
Yes,
happening
and
today?
the selection of the people are going, yes, we are doing it.
Okay. How many applicants did you have last year? And are you expecting a similar number?
We had 20 applications last year. We have 16 this year.
Okay. And you've got 200,000, and you've probably got $2 million of requests.
Yes, that's pretty close. Yes.
Okay. Good luck. That's all.
All right.
That's all, man.
So, I know y'all are doing great work. You've been acknowledged and recognized for that, although not this year, I think the year before. And so that's a clear indication that you're doing good work. And I know that during the recession and the years that followed, there was across government and where we could trim easily without people noticing one way or another. That's what happened. And we have work to do to get us back to the point where a lot of the services, like Friday services at these smaller libraries, is restored. And I can't make a commitment to you this year that it's all going to happen in 1 year, but I can tell you that over the next few years, we're going to get back to the point where we're fully funding our, not just libraries, but parks and public works that took sort of the brunt of the hit as we had to pull back to make our budget balance. And so keep up the good work, keep going. We got to talk about whether or not the 4% fund should pay for books or operating, and it's a weird provision in our charter that even establishes a 4% fund. And I'm not. I wish I knew exactly what the political compromise that that required that to be in the charter was. I think it would be interesting to know exactly why they did that. But we have to let us sort of take a look at what we might be able to move around from one department to another. We may have some operating things in other departments that we could move into 4% so that there'd be no net impact on our budget in helping you all do a better job of planning for acquiring your collections, because I understand the sense of that. It may be something that we can do that doesn't really have any financial consequences to the city, more of just a planning consequence to us, which I certainly appreciate. So you've got a great board, obviously, and y'all are doing good work, and we want to help you excel at that in the months and years to come. So thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing as well. So,
Thank you.